Ready to rock?
Ready. You ready? Let's do it.
How you doing, man? It's Shawn from the Rockstar Radio Show today at the House of Blues in Anaheim, California. Tonight, Volbeat, Danko Jones, and a band, if you haven't heard of, I don't know what you've been doing for the last 8-9 years, Spoken, one of the hardest working bands, and I'm not kissing your ass right now, I've just been following it for a while. When it comes to work ethic, there's not a whole lot of bands out there that have followed through. And you guys have been on the scene for a long time, and I don't want to say you're making your big shot finally after so many years, but this is a terrific tour for you, right,
This is kind of the best possible situation for us to be in at all. And you're good. Do it. We've been a band for 17 years now. We've been on tour for like 16 of it. We've been on 2 other labels before we signed to E1 Music, and it's amazing to be in a spot where we feel like we have our strongest songs. We're on the biggest tour of our career with Volbeat. Things couldn't be lined up better.
Let's go back and figure out, or you can tell us how this tour actually came along. How were you discovered? How were the connections made?
Our manager has known, I think, Volbeat's manager for quite a while, whatever. He found out that they were coming over here for a U.S. tour, and he's like, hey, got this band, you see about putting them on there, they signed a new label, they got a new record coming out, this, that, whatever. And however, it worked out, and they agreed to bring us, and it's been nothing but amazing.
Have you ever hung out with the guys before, or even in Danko Jones? I mean, this lineup is just rock and roll.
No, I had never heard of them until 3 months ago.
You got to be kidding me, really?
Good. No, I'd never heard of them until 3 months ago. Management was like, hey, I'm working on a Volbeat tour for you. I'm like, okay, cool. What's that? It's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, wait, what?
Dance music or something?
I was thinking like a Volbeat tour, a Pac Sun tour, a Warped
sure.
tour, a Vulcan tour.
Okay.
I'm like, cool. He's like, are you kidding? I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're an amazing band. Some of the nicest guys we've ever toured with.
It comes down to when you finally meet people from other countries. America's always kind of got its head up its butt when we're just so... proud's not the word I'm looking for, but kind of egotistical.
We are spoiled.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you do meet bands from Europe or even just Canada, just over the border, it's like, you are the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. Yeah. It's amazing. So that's great that you guys, a nice band like yourselves, got hooked up with a bunch of nice guys. And so far, the tour's going great.
Amazing. I mean, every show has been amazing. We usually tour by ourselves, and we'll take out bands. We'll bring young bands on the road, and let's do it. And so for us to be able to be the opening band and to play for Volbeat and Danko Jones fans, that's what it's about, for building a band's career and for us taking the next step. Because we've toured plenty on our own.
Oh, absolutely.
It's time for us to get to be the opening band and play a 30-minute set and be done, and then we can hang out, watch the other bands, hang out with the people that are there.
That's actually a really good idea. I mean, you get to finally chill and see who else is playing. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about your brand new album, Illusions, right?
Yep.
It's been a long time coming. I did a little back research, because I thought this had just dropped in 2012. You guys have been working on it for 4 or 5 years.
It's been 5 years since we had a record come out. We started writing and recording 2.5 years ago, and so we were just... With touring so much, we tour 8 months out of the year, we live in 3 different states, and so we're always just going. So I think it was really good for us to be able to take the time to go to the studio, record a song in the middle of a tour. I would route tours around Nashville to go record. And so we were able to take that song with us, listen to it, what do you want to change, how should we do this? And so over the course of all of it, we were able to make a cohesive record with the heaviest stuff we've ever written and some of the most pop stuff. So it works, and it was 2.5 years in the making.
So that 2.5 years, you've got, like you were saying, I mean, there's different points of your life and your band. You basically got 2.5, 3 years jammed into a 12-song album, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot. People are like, what's the record about? What's this? I mean, it's a lot of life can happen in 2.5 years.
Absolutely.
And so the record, it became a concept record without planning on it, because 2.5 years ago, there was a lot of bitterness and confusion of just what is going on? Not so much with the band, but with people that I would come in contact with, or my wife and I would come in contact with, or some of the guys in the band, or sickness and other family members were just what is going on? And so over that 2.5 years, songs that were bitter and confused turned to grace and redemption, and it's the best thing for our band.
That's a really, really cool story, and especially being the 2.5 years you guys didn't break up, you didn't give up on it. You took all these songs and kept them moving and kept them going. thinking of that into the future, now with this tour, you're being kind of broadcast to a wider audience. You got a great single, coming out for radio airplay. The only thing holding back a band that I see kind of in your point is the music industry itself isn't catching up to everything, the way things are moving. How are you guys dealing with it daily, trying to get your name out there and almost doing self? I know you got a label, which is great. E1, those guys are great, but still when you're on the road, you're doing a lot of this yourself. What are you guys doing daily?
With our band, we've always been told, tour, that's how you gain fan base, and so then came, just a crazy work ethic where it's like, that's one of the most important things ever. It's just, we've always had the same work ethic, which is anywhere, anytime, any amount of money. We'll be there. You can guarantee us $100. Oh, you can guarantee us $2,000. Yes, we'll be there. All ends of the spectrum because we don't like days off. If we can drive through someone's town and play at a bar for $100, why wouldn't we do that? Instead of go through, hang out in the town, go to a mall, spend money on food.
Spend money on a hotel.
I bought a pair of shoes. I didn't need them, but I was bored. That's not us. We're work. And so with us, we'll continue that work ethic. We'll tour smarter, and we'll do more quality shows instead of just quantity. Mm-hmm. But our management and label and everyone's on the same page, and so it's been amazing. Our producer, Jason Rao, has taught us so much about songwriting and about, hey, here's why bands do what they do with songs. So we were in college, basically, for 2.5 years. We were in the school of writing songs. And so everything is nice and lined up. So now we'll see where God wants to take it.
If you do get a break, which it doesn't seem like you're going to anytime soon, you need to write a book and dedicate it to younger bands just getting started on how to do things. And I think Chapter 1 needs to be work ethic.
That's what I tell people all the time. They're like, hey, will you watch our band? I'm like, yeah, I'll watch your band. They're like, yeah, we want you to critique it. I'm like, I have to tell you, I have to be honest. I'm not your best friend. I'm not your parent. I'm not going to be like, oh, that was so good if it's not. And so I'll watch these bands and I'll tell them, I will not tell you anything I haven't learned myself, whether someone has told me or I've learned it the hard way. And they're like, okay, cool. Sometimes you just watch their face drop or whatever. Where I'm like, I want to be honest.
You have to, absolutely.
But there are times, it's rare, but you watch a band and you're like, you've got it together. Just keep doing what you're doing.
And move right along.
I wish it happened more often, but it doesn't.
No. And with the amount of bands that are coming out every single day, it makes it harder for the bands that really want to work and do it to just find a spot somewhere in the world just to play, man, even a backyard somewhere. So
that's one of the benefits about the music industry being in a lull, is it weeds out the bands. It weeds out the bands that aren't willing to work.
No, absolutely. Work ethic, rule number 1.
Number 1.
Well, dude, I really look forward to seeing you guys tonight. It'll be my first spoken show live.
Awesome.
I listened to a couple of tracks off the new album and impressed. Production, you mentioned it a moment ago. It's night and day from what you've done before.
It is. It's so different.
So is there anything that we should watch for tonight? Is there anything else you'd like to add besides spokenmusic.com?
Yeah, spokenmusic.com, facebook.com/spoken. Just see if we're coming through your town. We want to play there.
Still got half a tour left with Volbeat, so get there early, get yourself a ticket if it's not sold out already. So very much, appreciate it.
Thanks,
Matt from Spoken. We'll do it again next time.
See ya.